Weijie Chachue is an unlikely destination for a group of students from an American business school. After all, there are no businesses in this village of just 500 people, nestled amongst the hills around Lake Volta in eastern Ghana. There are no concrete structures, no paved roads, no health clinic, and just a makeshift school.
NYU's Stern International Volunteers, also called SIV, chose to work here because the people of Weijie Chachue were committed to their future, to build their community, to try the impossible. The purpose of SIV is to expose students to development experientially and holistically, through volunteering and traditional aid, but also by experimenting with entrepreneurship and business in the context of a new culture in a rural setting. Weijie Chachue is our partner community.
Our volunteer project this year involved facilitating the construction of a new school. One of our students, an aspiring social entrepreneur himself, built a $60 computer and used the new school to pilot his innovation, in effect setting up a simple computer app.
We use these very affordable mini PCs to build a fully functioning PC kit.
Up until then, computer education in the school was done with just books.
We conceived and coordinated the incubation of two new village-owned enterprises. The first was a woman-operated textile business utilizing the ancient Ghanaian art of batik block printing.
I founded a company called Studio One that's based between Ghana and the United States.
The second, a water business that would source and sell clean drinking water from a mechanized bore well.
Our hypothesis was that these businesses, if run well, could generate employment for the village, create broader economic activity in the area, and contribute profits to sustainably fund much-needed infrastructure for the community. Studio 189, a Ghana-based fashion business co-founded by Stern alum Abrima Eruia and actress Rosario Dawson, was our partner for the batik business. They helped set up the batik shed, source the best quality materials, and train the women of the village. SIV students helped acquire retail customers in New York, develop a business model, and created systems for accounting and governance.
This community of 500 some odd people is gonna basically start a business.
And our class was responsible for designing the business model for this village-owned enterprise.
Clean Water for Everyone, set up by NYU alum Abby Wamimo, helped construct the mechanized bore well. Here again, workmen from the village contributed to the project. SIV students surveyed the village and nearby villages to understand consumer demand for clean water and pricing. They also developed a business model and helped create systems for accounting and governance.
It was for Weijie Chachue to decide how they would run these businesses over the long run, and they more than rose to the occasion. The Elderly Council appointed a board for each business, each comprising a majority of women. Each board appointed a CEO, bylaws were drafted, and board responsibilities were allocated. At the best of times, the odds are stacked against new businesses. What would be the chances of success in a remote location like this? But we learned that the language of business is universal, and instinct and intuition go a long way.
For most of us, SIV is a life-changing experience. After all, we were able to apply our education to a real-world problem, making all the theories and concepts we had learned come to life. By working deeply in a microcosm, we were better able to see the bigger picture. We all have epiphanies and realize that whatever we do, we must make life count. But this year, we can see that the exchange with our village has been mutual. We can see that over 2 years of work, the community has been touched, and there is an air of aspiration. An ecosystem has been established.
Over the decades, development institutions have spent billions on failed projects for the underserved, often because there was no homegrown way to sustain them. Perhaps by injecting a dose of entrepreneurship, our experiment may be different and prove to be a model for others. We leave Weijie Chachue with trepidation as to whether our experiment will work, but also with great hope.